I don't know if we were day ones. I want to ask you about that. But as far as, being greatly surprised by a body of music, I think I'm going to start off with Aminé, his album Limbo. So we spoke about that shit literally. Like, dude, I fucking played that shit during my morning workout, and I had to like pause it to send it to him. Like, bro, this is it. And I think it was like only like 5 in the morning for you. But I was like, well, you need to, like, the moment you wake up, listen to this shit. So one, thoughts on the album, and then two, like, how long have you been listening to him?
So the first time I heard of him was that Caroline song.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, wasn't really impressed by it, at least not enough to check him out, like, in terms of like his whole catalog. And then I think he released an album, the one with like the yellow background where he's sitting on the toilet or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He had a song with Ty Dolla $ign on there, which I love. And that's when I was like, okay, he's dope. But I didn't really hear much from him ever since. Like, he had that song Reel It In and all kinds of stuff, but it all seemed kind of
sporadic.
Yeah, sporadic and like on the goofy but like cookie cutter side. Nothing that made me say like, yo, this dude is someone I need to follow consistently. But ever since you showed me Limbo, I was like, okay, like that one song, I'm like, this, or no, sorry, you sent me the song and then I checked out the album first.
Right.
And as I was getting into it, I'm like, okay, like he is trying to like get to the next level with this one. Like he spent time on this shit and he's making a name for himself, establishing himself as an artist and who he is and telling his story. Like, I just thought the whole thing was dope. It wasn't like, a classic in, the sense of when we think about like Good Kid, Mad City or something to me, at least to me personally. But like, as far as a body of work, I'm like, this shit is super cohesive.
Yeah, dude, I agree with all that, bro. So I think, like, I think Caroline was the first song, but like Reel It In really like made me like, yo, this is like, this dude is talented. That album itself was a little bit all over the place. Like some songs I'm like, bro, did you need this song? Blah blah. But yeah, like Limbo was a fucking flawless piece of fucking art to me, bro. Like, so good. So for me, like, I don't want to like be like a prisoner of the moment. So I'm gonna go through the list of albums that came out this year, pre-COVID and since. I know there's like, I feel like January and February we had so many albums just coming out nonstop. But this has to be top 5, just like right now, like albums of the year. Yeah, this shit's good,
amazing.
Bro. Yep. Like, this shit is good. And dude, I was telling my girlfriend this because she has a brother who's like 25, 26, and like he's going through like a weird stage of his life. Trying to figure out yourself. Like that's like, but I feel like 25, 26, like that's such a beautiful stage as well. Cause like if you can figure out your struggle and then figure out like how to grow from that, like then the results of whatever you do in life are fucking phenomenal. So dude, I feel like that's what you get with this album for him, bro. Like you hear that like confusion about life, but still trying to see the beauty in it. I think he has a couple lines where he's just talking. I think like they have like random like interludes, and he's like, bro, I promise you, there's nothing gangster about having hate in your heart. Like there's some fucking, untalented people, but all they have is fucking love for other people, and they're doing very well. Trust. Like there's like so many like lines like that where like I think it's just like a very introspective way of him talking out loud,
for sure,
and like letting you into like what he's going through. But yeah, dude, like, I feel like I can relate. Like, that's what I can relate to. Like, again, he's younger than us, but like I remember being 25, 26, and I had made a decision. And like I was like on Facebook one day, I'm like, bro, like I see all my friends like getting law degrees or doing this and doing that. Like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? And that's where I'm like, yo, I need to move into this kind of field, focus on this. I want to make this kind of money, blah blah blah. And that's when it all started like clicking for me. So like, there's definitely beauty, when that shit comes across in music. Whereas like, yo, that he's taking you on a fucking journey, song to song, and even when it's like funny and ratchet, like there's still some kind of like lesson you can take from it. So that's why like to me this shit was a very good body of work,
for sure. And that was actually the last thing I heard before this podcast was that little interlude where he was talking about, or whoever that was on the song, talking about not having hate in your heart. It's also a nice break to hear artists like him, because a lot of the shit that I'm accustomed to hearing, or at least that's actively promoted, is the shoot 'em up, sell drugs, drink lean type shit. Which, don't get me wrong, I think everyone can agree has like a nice bop to it.
Yeah, it has
it's
its
fun.
purpose.
It bumps. Might listen to it when you're drinking, but like the Aminé stuff, playing in the background, it kind of gave me motivation. It's inspiring, but also bumped just as much as these other artists.
That's why surprisingly is a good workout mix, bro, because I felt like maybe like the beats weren't what you would think a workout would be, but if you actually like are lifting and listening to the lyrics, you're like, yo, fuck, I gotta get my shit together. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
and it kind of, I mean, he definitely doesn't sound like Jack Harlow, but I like the like goofy, funny humor that they throw into their lyrics. Keeps it like they're competitive, but not so serious about everything.
Yeah, like this exactly. Like he has a lot of funny lines, but one funny line that stood out to me was like, "I haven't been in church since the '80s. Believe that? I was born in '94. You believe that?" Like that, like little funny shit was like, I'm like, yo, this guy has a sense of humor and he can laugh at himself, right?
Yeah.
Because that's probably the thing that like, if you really break down a lot of artists who never been able to break through, is because they feel they have to be a certain way, but they're also unable to laugh at themselves. And I feel like the artists who could actually like joke on themselves is like, you know, if you 8 Mile yourself, like what Eminem did, like if you fucking just destroy yourself, your competition can't say shit about you. I feel like a lot of hip hop artists are too afraid to ever be like vulnerable, so they never really break out of that shell, and it's always like, well, I gotta be this way forever because this is what they say I have to be. So
for sure,
it's cool that you can see that evolution in him so early on. But yeah, man, I think that Limbo is fucking flawless. I don't care if this shit only sold 1,000 or 100 copies, like that shit is getting my vote for one of the top albums of the year. Like, I could give a shit what the album did.
Yeah.
But I think he actually had some dope ass marketing because I feel like I was surprised at how, maybe because obviously like he probably handed in his piece of work a while ago, and that's when the labels and all understood, like, yo, this is fucking different. Let's put some money behind this, because there seemed to be like a heavy amount of marketing for him over the weekend, which is, again, super happy for him. But like, I guess I wasn't thinking that he would have that kind of support, when the release came out.
Yeah, no, I think that's super dope. I hadn't seen any of whatever marketing he was doing, but Spotify came through and was like, yo, you should check this out. It was too late because you had already fucking sent it. I don't know if Apple notified you.
No. So what it was is I've been following him for like 2 years because he's always just been like a goofy, funny character to me. So I've always been somewhat impressed by him. So that's why when I woke up at fucking like 5 a.m. for my workout, I was like, yo, is it out? All right, perfect. Let me add that shit. Because nice. What's annoying when they announce it's just about to drop and then it's not there. I'm like, bro, is it Apple fucking up? Like, did I fucking read this wrong? Are they a piece of shit? Yeah. So like when I'm still waiting for the Donda album by Kanye. Where the fuck is that? That was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dude, what's funny to me? Because he's a Cali dude.
Aminé?
Yeah.
I think he's from, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's from like Seattle or some shit.
Really?
I think so. I know he's West Coast. And maybe he moved recently or something. Let me check it out right now.
Check it out right now. I was gonna make a comment, but I could have been completely off.
Portland.
That's what he's.
So it's like
he's Oregon. He's a West. All right. All right. No, because I was gonna say like, I wonder if maybe it's a West Coast thing. So maybe let's make it broad. I was gonna say a Cali thing, but maybe it's a West Coast thing, bro. But do you feel like West Coast artists take more chances with like production of like, and aren't afraid to like really incorporate some like 70s and 80s feel to it? Because I feel like production wise, like, bro, like I feel like even like Nipsey shit, bro, like you're not getting that kind of production like out of the South and East Coast, right? I feel like the South tries to states like, all right, this is what we do, and the East Coast like, yo, this is how we do it. Whereas I feel like the West takes a lot of fucking freedom with how they present music. Like, yes, we may rap a certain way, but the beats are very fucking left field at times. Like, do you ever get that vibe at all, or like am I bugging?
I think so, and I think it's because when I think of West Coast rap, I think of like typical gangster rap beats that like Dr. Dre and Snoop would have made. So if you don't fall into that category, I almost feel like you have your free will to like go in whatever direction you want. And most LA artists or rappers probably aren't in the gang or can make that kind of music to begin with, so they kind of just do everything. I think that's why like Jack Harlow.
I'm thinking about Tyler
the Creator.
This is like some left field, but like, yo, we're gonna make this shit dope kind of thing, you know?
Because he's not a gangster, obviously. So for him, I'm sure, like, just being with his like really eclectic crew and shit, they were just on a whole different wavelength. Said,
whole different vibe, yeah.
Let's just do whatever sounds dope, and they did it.
Yeah, bro, because there's some beats are like a couple songs are like very hip hop, like, you know, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that means. But then like you got some beats that are fucking like super instrumental, and he's still spitting as hard as he ever did on other. I'm like, and then sometimes he's just fucking singing, and that shit comes. I'm like, damn, bro, this guy's taking fucking risk.
Yeah.
And it just comes across so dope. So I really was wondering if it's just more like on the West Coast, they just like they feel like, yo, we're gonna pull whatever out, but like we don't give a fuck where it comes from. Like we'll sample anything as long as it sounds good, you know?
Yeah, I think Buddy's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. Yeah, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it is just because we don't really, besides the gangster rap, we don't really have a sound.
Yeah.
So we're just like, you know, do whatever, you know, comes to our gut.
Yeah, it worked out though, man. Yeah, so Jack Harlow's from the West Coast too?
No, I was gonna say because he's from Louisville, Kentucky. I was gonna say I feel like the regions where there isn't a sound, people kind of just make up their own and just do whatever inspires them. And he's kind of one of those artists where, you know, his beats and stuff aren't. I mean, they're definitely on the clubbier side, so they're more familiar, but it's also different. And I guess it depends on what kind of producer you team up with too. But yeah, I feel like the regions where there isn't a sound, so not the South, not the East, you kind of have the freedom to not be boxed in or be biased and influenced by the shit around you.
Yeah, and especially if you're also like growing up in fucking Portland, Oregon, where like, again, I don't really know what the hip hop scene is out there, but it can't be that big. So it's probably like, I like hip hop, but I'm also listening to these kind of beats on a day-to-day basis. Let me get, you know, take from both. So that makes sense.